Hello everyone. Yeah, these HK HT HG guards are very complicated and it's long-winded. Sorry, but this is video number 5, but I wanted to show you this part because it's the idea of this going back into the actual guard, the inner splash guard, and how it actually fits on the car. It's an absolute must that you do this, and just to make sure everything lines up with the bolt holes here and the bolt holes on the guard and the bolt holes that run down on the inside of the bonnet. Alrighty, so we're just going to set this back into here, and this will go into position. Like I said, we've got the telltale spot welds to show us where it's going to fit. And just line them up. I think we've got it pretty close there. You can see if I move them off, you can see they're off. There they are on. You just got to clamp the inside of it with a clamp so that it holds it while you actually mount it onto the car. So we're just doing that one there. You can see it's fitting down the bottom where it's supposed to go. Rightio. Just take these bolts out of the top. Give me a second. You can see all the metalwork's nice and clean the way we need it to be. Got that little piece down the front that was that we've finished off nicely. It's had 2 pieces put in it, so the whole nose has been completely replaced. Get these bolts out of here. You can see we've done the inside edge of this one. It's all fitting nice, sitting the way it's supposed to sit. So this is the grand finale fit up. This is what is the whole telltale to the whole deal. This is what governs where the guard sits on the car, how it matches up to the door, and it's critical that it's done. I know I keep pulling these guards off and on, but if you don't keep refitting them to check, you'll get to one stage and you'll think, oh, what's gone wrong here? And you'll say to yourself, that's no good. And it could be out on one of these edges, sticks out a mile, and you've got nowhere to go. You like that? Multi-skilling. Alright, here we go. So she's locked in inside. So this is how the guard looks like originally before it gets pulled apart. I'm going to stick it back on and make sure it fits. Get the bolt holes lining up down there. Make sure it's right in, it's supposed to be where it's going to go, and you've got your gap half reasonable in the front there. Got it fairly close. With this fit up, you're going to need to actually tighten your bolts up so you're getting a proper realistic idea of how it's going to work. So let me put the hoist down a little bit. You have to pay attention to the bolts on the inside here and make sure they fit, because that's your inner skirt and where it lines up to the actual skirt on the subfront. You need to make sure these bolt holes are lining up. Use that one down there. So we'll give them a nip up. don't do this before you weld it up, you probably end up not being able to get these bolts in at all. There's 5 of them around the inside of the guard here. That one hasn't got a speed clip on it, but I can see that the hole's lining up where it's supposed to line up. Got those ones in, that's pretty close. Let's whack one in down the front here. It's got to go in underneath the blinker. This is a test as well because we replaced all this metal, so we've got to make sure it bolts back together. And that's looking nice and it's all lining up underneath. Right, so we'll go up in the air. Alright, we're going to put these bottom ones in at the bottom of the guard too because they're critical for the lineup and how things match up to the bottom of the guard. But you can see that the guards, you know, without even really trying, it's fitting quite well. We've got a reasonable gap size there. This door needs to come forward a little bit because it's tight on the back door gap, so we've got an allowance there for that to happen. That one in. It's a bit hard to get to because of the hoist. So you've got to make sure you do them up tight so that you can see where the guard's going to fit. So this is pulled in a little bit, but one of the reasons why that's not quite right there yet is because I still haven't folded that edge yet. That's one of the last things to be done as well. But you can see the line's quite good. The gap's a little bit wide, like again I said, we've got to bring this door forward a little bit because it's a tight gap at the back. But if you look up underneath, you can see that she's pretty well fitting where it's supposed to fit. They've always had a big gap up around here, that's the way Holden's are. That sits in there. You can see the line through here where the bolts join through to the skirt is all where it's supposed to be at. And we've got our spot weld holes are in alignment still. They haven't moved, the clamp hasn't moved. Just double check those. This is fitting where it's supposed to fit up underneath here. So that's got to be welded into place then, but you can see that there's no stress on that. We don't have to bend it too much to make it fit where it's got to fit. It's just a little bit of a clamp there, and that'll get spot welded down through here as well. Also spot welded underneath to join that in because that's where the factory spot welds them as well. Anyway, that's your fit up, and that's extremely important. As you can imagine, if you don't do that and you just weld the skirt in and it's a little bit this way or a little bit that way, you're going to have to start again because the bolt holes won't line up, or you end up in a situation where you're elongating the holes to make the bolts fit. It's not necessary. Fit it up with a clamp, put it all into position, put the bolts where they're supposed to go. Double check your spot welds and make sure they're lining up, everything's confirmed, it's good to go. So now we're at the stage where we can pull this off, clamp that into position, and go ahead and do the spot welds as we were showing you in the last video. Don't forget to stagger them. Do one here, come around here, do one in the centre, come around here, do one here, and just stagger them as you go. One there, one there, one here, one there, and try and keep it cool with your compressed air. And you'll be ready to go back on the car. So that's some quite major rust repair on that guard, and it's all to the stage where we can be very confident that it's going to be good for another 20 years. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Any questions, send me a comment or give me a call. Only too happy to help. Thanks guys.